I'm just going to do a quick video and talk about this is maybe partially why, it's partially why there's so much aggression, why it's so difficult to understand aggression between the West and the rest of the world. And one of the things is the Western perspective is often, and I'm a firm believer in capitalism, our constitution, all this other stuff. I'm not all that, you know, whatever. But when when America modernizes, when we roll out new segments in our service economy, all these things, we're building up these things and there's always these obstacles we can't get past, right? And if you think about Henry Ford discovers we can open up 10,000 car dealerships. What Henry Ford didn't discover is how this has to do with freedom and justice for all. Um, and he also doesn't necessarily have an answer for how the rest of the institutions in the United States are going to formulate themselves. One of the problems with this is that as humans struggle in these scenarios, this has to go somewhere, and it often goes towards this playbook of greed and self interest, which is both on the surface and very apparent. It's this idea that if we can't take this all for ourselves, and we shouldn't, then we can give it to a smaller group that's within this same sort of economic class, this same economic segment as us. And this doesn't change as you pass amendments and you extend full citizenship to people. There's just aspects of how we respond to change and innovation which never change. That's it. Um, and if you wonder how all of this is or can be strategic, there's this seeming promise that at some point, dollars and cents and production capacity will funnel into things that make the system more stable and more sustainable. Um, those don't always occur, right? And I think they happen slowly. They just don't always get there. Just maybe a more concise way to say that. Um, and so when you ask about this sort of change process and our ethics and the way that we interpret our knee-jerk reactions, and even what our first measured reaction might be to seeing activity in other parts in the world, you always get this, at least it's a difficult governing challenge, because you can never decide what are the things you need to stand up for and what are the things that you can't stand up for. Yeah, it's difficult. It's not clear.